Evening all. Just going to do a follow up on the Evolution Aqua EvoFeed automatic feeder. I take no credit whatsoever for this modification. It's a video that Humber Koi, nice family and son koi channel, Leo and his dad, so nip over to them and give them a subscribe. They've done a full in-depth video on how to do it, but there was a couple of things that I wanted to add to it, because I've now done this with Aid the Koi Keeper and I'm doing it on my own now, so I'll just run through start to finish, and then if you put my video together with Humber Koi's, you won't go far wrong, to be fair. So yeah, here we go. So you have to dismantle the feeder. Now I've already taken the screws and stuff out to make it a bit easier than to save a bit of time, but you dismantle the feeder by undoing the three screws underneath on the frame, which you should know how to do because they come flat packed anyway in the box, unless your missus has set it up for you, an IKEA jobby. So yeah, you undo the three screws and you take the feeder part off. Put that to one side. Then you take the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little screws from the top of here and remove this. And this is what you do in the modification on. As you can see, you've got a slot here, and what happens is the food spins round and fires through this slot. Now this slot is fairly big and it's throwing too much food out, so the idea is to reduce the size of this slot to reduce the amount of feed that's going out. So what you do, you get a 40mm socket, coupler, and you cut part of it off. I use the beveled edge because I find it fits over that fitting better, so I use the beveled edge. Bit of a Blue Peter job. Here's one I prepared earlier. So what you do is cut that off, and what you're cutting off is 10mm. So you're cutting 10mm plastic off, and as you can see, that'll fit onto there then. And then what you have to do is file a slot out into there on whatever size hole you want for the feed. So again, here's a Blue Peter jobby, one I've prepared earlier. As you can see, I've made the hole smaller so less food comes out. Now what Humber Koi have done, Leo and his dad, they put a bit of glue on there, heat from a glue gun. But what we've done, so you can get it off fairly easy, is put some insulation tape around there. It's entirely up to you. I mean, you can super glue it on if you wanted to, but it's just getting it off after, should you want to just put it back to normal like that. Now if you want to increase the feed when your fish get bigger and stuff, you can just file a little bit more out and a little bit more out and a little bit more out, or completely remove it. However, what you can also do is start off with a slightly bigger slot like that. So, and then all you have to do is move it round every time. So put a bit of glue on there, or electrician's tape, and then if you want to increase the feed, the amount, sorry, you just move it round, move it round, move it round. But what I'm going to go for is the smaller slot. I don't mind taking it apart. It's a couple of minutes to take it apart, and I can just file a little bit more out and a little bit more out as and when needed. So that once you've taped that on there, all you do is pop that back on, put your screws back in, and then just reassemble everything back up, and then set your feeds to whatever you want them to be. So these couplers you can get from Toolstation, Screwfix. It's just a 40mm coupler. That's what we found best to use. Humbercoy use that. We use it on aids. So yeah, you just cut 10mm off that, as you can see, and it works a treat. But as I say, I take no credit whatsoever for this video. Leo and his dad, nip over to Humbercoy. They've done a great video. Really funny watching them trying to catch the food in a bag. Yeah, they've got some good content. They're just doing a pond build now with a grandpa, so that's coming on great. So as I say, nip over to them, and again, I take no credit for this. It's not my video. I'm not one of them that takes the glory for somebody else's ideas, but I thought I would add to it, just to help others. As I say, when Aid the Koi Keeper and myself done his, we wasn't sure of how much to cut off, so we cut a fair chunk off, and then we was having to narrow it. So just by doing a follow-up video, just saying how much to cut off, and again with the slots, should help everybody who's got one of these. And I believe people are not using them because of the amount of food they throw out. That's a simple fix, and I think these are about 79p, these couplers from Toolstation. They're not very expensive. So yeah, a quick modification, job's a fish. Thanks all, bye for now.